Tour the cruise ports, the Danube to Vienna. Table of Contents, European River Cruises Part 7, the Danube to Vienna.
All about the Danube to Vienna. With visiting and touring information, geography, history, attractions, and with the points of interest. Dr. Sydney Soclof. Dr. Sydney22@gmail.com. 2022. Narration by Dr. Sydney Soclof,
Zoe Phonemes,
and Nathan Koltove. For a more complete discussion of YouTube navigation, please go to this video using the link here.
the Danube.
This is the beautiful Wachau Valley on the Danube between Melk and Vienna in Austria.
This shows the entire course of the Danube. From its source in the Black Forest of Germany to the Danube Delta at the Black Sea.
The Danube River is the second largest river in Europe, after the Volga.
The Danube flows for 2,860 kilometers, or 1,780 miles from the Black Forest of southeastern Germany, eastward to the Black Sea. It is more than twice as long as the Rhine, which is 1,233 kilometers long.
The Danube is the only river in Europe that flows from west to east, and is navigable from Ulm in Germany to the Black Sea.
The Danube River is an important international waterway, flowing through or forming a part of the borders of Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Bulgaria, and Romania.
Principal cities on or near the Danube are Regensburg, Passau, Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, and Belgrade. Bucharest is close to, but not on the Danube.
The Danube serves as an important transportation corridor by linking the Black Sea to Western Europe, all of the way to the port of Rotterdam on the North Sea, via the Main-Danube Canal.
The Danube River basin can be divided into these four river sections: the upper, middle, and lower, and the Danube Delta at the Black Sea.
This shows the entire route of a 14-day cruise from Amsterdam to Budapest on the Rhine, Main-Danube Canal, and Danube rivers.
This shows the ports of call on the Danube from Regensburg to Budapest.
This shows the itinerary of a 3-week cruise from Amsterdam near the North Sea to Bucharest near the Black Sea.
Chapter 2. Locks on the Danube River.
This is a profile of the Danube River, from the head of navigation at Ulm to the Black Sea. There is a total drop of 500 meters in elevation, and many locks are required for navigation.
We see that there are many locks between Kelheim at the junction of the Main-Danube Canal and Vienna.
There are a total of 47 locks on the entire length of the Danube. Between Regensburg and Vienna there are 15 locks. There is only one lock between Bratislava and Budapest. The locks are at the Iron Gates, between Budapest and Bucharest.
The last lock is at Cernavodă, downstream of most of the disembarkation ports for Bucharest, and close to the Danube River Delta.
This shows the 9 locks on the Danube in Austria.
Regensburg is the first port on the Danube after the Main-Danube Canal.
Regensburg is the largest medieval city in Germany, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2006. Regensburg was founded in 179 AD by the Romans. It eventually became the second richest city in the Holy Roman Empire, prized for its trade of white gold, or salt.
Regensburg was once the capital of Germany, until it was moved to Munich.
Regensburg has a population of 150,000. making it the fourth largest city in Bavaria after Munich, Nuremberg and Augsburg.
The city center features medieval architecture and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
This is a map of Regensburg.
The old stone bridge, Steinerne Brücke, in Regensburg was built around 1140 AD, and for more than 800 years, until the 1930s, it was the only bridge across the river at Regensburg.
For many centuries the old stone bridge was the only bridge over the Danube between Ulm and Vienna, making Regensburg into a major center of trade and government. The bridge is a masterwork of medieval construction, and an emblem of Regensburg.
This shows the location of the old stone bridge in Regensburg.
The Salzstadel, salt warehouse, built from 1616 to 1620, stands in the immediate vicinity of the stone bridge and still bears witness today to the active salt trade.
The rooms of the Salzstadel, with their majestic oak boards and pillars, are today a popular location for the most varied events.
The royal house of Thurn taxes purchased part of the Benedictine monastery of St. Emmeram in 1810, and made it their permanent residence.
The entire palace contains several magnificently furnished chambers. The cloisters in the oldest part of the monastery are of particular interest.
This shows the location of the Thurn taxes palace.
Chapter 6. The Old Town Hall, or Altes Rathaus, is a three-section building complex dating from the 13th century. It consists of the Baroque town hall,
the town hall tower,
and the Gothic imperial chamber or Reichssaal. From 1663 to 1806 the Perpetual Imperial Assembly of the Holy Roman Empire met in the Reichssaal.
This shows the location of the Old Town Hall or Altes Rathaus in Regensburg.
The Regensburg Cathedral, Dome St. Peter or the Regensburger Dome, is dedicated to St. Peter, and is the most important church and landmark of the city of Regensburg.
The Regensburg Cathedral is the seat of the Catholic Diocese of Regensburg, and is the prime example of Gothic architecture in Bavaria.
This shows the location of the Regensburg Cathedral.
A good way to see the main sights of Regensburg is by the CityTour tourist train, which enables you to have a great view at the entire city comfortably. This includes the Old Town, the Dom, Cathedral, the Old Rathaus, Town Hall, and the Steinerne Brücke Old Stone Bridge, and the Castle of Thurn ihs.
This is a map of the route of the Regensburg City Tour.
The duration of the Regensburg City Tour route is about 45 minutes. Narration is available in several languages.
Passau.
Passau is a town in Bavaria, also known as the Dreiflussstadt, City of Three Rivers, because the Danube is joined there by the Inn from the south, and the Ilz from the north.
Passau is called the City of Three Rivers. Notice the distinct greenish to milky white color of the Inn, due to the glacial silt in the river.
The Inn actually has a greater flow than the Danube, although it is considered to be a tributary of the Danube, because of the Danube's greater length.
This is a map of the historic area of Passau showing various points of interest.
Passau has a population of 50,000, of whom about 12,000 are students at the University of Passau. This university is known for its institutes of economics, law, theology, computer science, and cultural studies.
This is Passau showing the cruise terminal, very close to the inner city.
This shows the location of the University of Passau.
St. Stephen's Cathedral, or the Stephansdom, is a masterpiece of Italian Baroque architecture.
The organ at St. Stephen's was until 1994 the largest church pipe organ in the world with 17,774 pipes and 233 registers. Today, it is second in size only to the organ at First Congregational Church of Los Angeles.
This shows the location of St. Stephen's Cathedral, or Stephen's Dome.
This is the Old Town or Altstadt of Passau.
The Innenpromenade is a nice place to take a stroll along the Danube.
This is a road in Passau leading down to the Innenpromenade.
Festhaberhaus is a fortress that was founded in 1219 and for most of its time served as the stronghold of the Bishop of Passau. It is currently a museum, youth hostel, and restaurant.
Festhaberhaus is located on the mountain crest, St. Georgsburg, between the Danube and the Ilz, and overlooks Passau.
Below Festhaberhaus along the Danube is Festniederhaus, part of the fortress system.
This is the Wachau Valley in Austria.
This is a map of Austria showing the Danube and Vienna.
Here is the landlocked country of Austria, with the neighboring countries of Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, Slovenia, Italy, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein.
The blue Danube. Is the Danube really blue?
The Blue Danube is the common English title of the waltz, On der schönen blauen Donau, or By the Beautiful Blue Danube, by the Austrian composer Johann Strauss II, composed in 1866.
The Danube used to be blue, as a slow-moving unpolluted river, although it was never blue near Vienna. However, although it was, and still is blue if you go far enough upstream.
The Danube is a fast-flowing, turbulent river, and many of the rivers that flow into it, such as the Inn of Passau, carry extensive glacial debris, which makes them have a gray or white appearance, although they are not polluted. So, even before there were any people to pollute it, the Danube carried a lot of turbidity.
The idea of the Blue Danube is thus a poetic one, based on our ideal concept of a river.
This is the beautiful Wachau Valley on the Danube, between Melk and Vienna in Austria.
The Wachau Valley is a stretch of the Danube Valley between Melk and Krems, 80 kilometers west of Vienna. It was added to the list UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 2000.
The Wachau begins where the Danube turns north, near the town of the Melk. The river then cuts a gap through the southern rim of the Bohemian Plateau and the hills of the Dunkelstein Forest.
Some 25 miles downriver from Melk is the town of Krems, the wine capital of Lower Austria.
Dürnstein is a small town on the Danube River and is one of the most visited tourist destinations in the Wachau region and also a well-known wine-growing area.
Dürnstein Castle, Burgruine Dürnstein, high above the town of Dürnstein, is the ruins of a medieval castle at 312 meters, 1,024 feet, above sea level.
The Schönbrunn Castle is over 1,000 years old and was the property of the bishops of Passau. The castle is known as the Watchman of the Wachau.
This shows the location of the Schönbrunn Castle about 5 kilometers, or 3 miles downstream from Melk.
These are Wachau Valley vineyards.
This shows the location of the Wachau Valley wine regions. Notice that they are mostly on the southern-faced slopes of the valley.
Melk.
Melk is a town of 5,300 in Austria along the Danube River in the Wachau Valley. Melk is famous for being as the location of Melk Abbey.
The Melk Abbey, Stift Melk, is a massive Baroque Benedictine abbey above Melk, on a rocky outcrop, overlooking the Danube River.
The Melk Abbey was founded in 1089 when Leopold II, the Margrave of Austria, gave one of his castles to the Benedictine monks from Lambach Abbey.
A monastic school, the Stiftsgymnasium Melk, was founded in the 12th century, and the monastic library soon became renowned for its extensive manuscript collection. The monastery scriptorium was also a major site for the production of manuscripts.
The ancient library of the abbey has over 1,000 handwritten manuscripts, and one of the most extensive manuscript collections in Europe.
In the 15th century, the abbey became the center of the Melk reform movement, which reinvigorated the monastic life of Austria and southern Germany.
The Melk Abbey.
Vienna.
Vienna is in German pronounced Wien. It is the capital, and by far the largest city of Austria, with a population of about 1.9 million, and 2.6 million in the metropolitan area. This represents nearly one-third of Austria's total population of 8.8 million.
The population of Vienna at 1.9 million is much larger than other cities in Austria, with Graz at only 222,000, Linz at 181,000, Salzburg at 150,000, and Innsbruck at 112,000.
Vienna is the cultural, economic, and political center of Austria. It is the seventh largest city in the European Union. Vienna was the capital of the vast multi-ethnic Austro-Hungarian Empire, which ended with World War I in 1918, at which time there were 2 million inhabitants in Vienna.
This shows the population of Vienna 1590 to 2013. We see the rapid growth to a peak at the beginning of World War I in 1914. Then with the breakup of the Austria-Hungary Habsburg Empire in 1918, there is a sharp decline, with some recovery in the 1980s.
Until 1900, Vienna was the largest German-speaking city in the world. Today, it has the third largest number of German speakers after Berlin and Hamburg.
This is the Vienna Ringstrasse and State Opera around 1870.
This is Vienna circa 1900.
This is a map of Vienna, showing the historic center at Stephansdom, and the Danube Canal, Donaukanal, that flows close by.
This is a satellite view of Vienna, showing the historic center at Stephansdom, and the Danube Canal, Donaukanal, that flows close by.
This is another satellite view of Vienna, showing the historic center at Stephansdom, and the Danube Canal, Donaukanal, that flows close by.
This is a map of Vienna, showing the historic center within the Ringstrasse, and the Danube Canal, Donaukanal.
This shows the location of the Vienna Rathaus, City Hall, and the University of Vienna with relation to Stephansdom.
Most river cruise ships tie up on the Danube at the Reichsbrücke terminal on the Handelskei. There is no actual city center mooring because the Danube was diverted years ago to the east of the city to avoid flooding.
This shows the location of the Vienna cruise port at the Reichsbrücke terminal at Handelskei on the Danube.
This is a satellite view of location of the Vienna cruise port at the Reichsbrücke terminal on Handelskei.
This is a map of the extensive Vienna subway system, U-Bahn.
The Vienna cruise port is just a 4-minute ride by subway, U-Bahn, from the Vergartenstrasse station into the center of the city at Stephansplatz.
From the Reichsbrücke dock, bridge dock, it's a 9-minute walk, 650 meters, to the Vergartenstrasse U-Bahn station. Then it's the U1 line in the direction of Vienna for 4 stops, taking only 4 minutes to the Stephansplatz station, and the center of Vienna in the inner city.
The U-Bahn station closest to the cruise port is Vergartenstrasse on the U1 line. It goes directly to the center of the inner city station at Stephansplatz and Karlsplatz.
Most points of interest in Vienna are easily accessible from the U-Bahn starting from Ringstrasse. This includes the Schönbrunn Palace on the U4 line, as well as the Belvedere on the S1, S2, and S4 S-Bahn lines.
The Ringstrasse or Ring Road is a circular grand boulevard that encircles the historic Innenstadt, Old Town, area of Vienna.
This is a depiction of Vienna in the Nuremberg Chronicle, 1493, showing the city wall.
This is Vienna in 1683. Some of the city has now spread out beyond the city wall.
By the year 1827, the city of Vienna had still not expanded beyond its medieval fortress walls. This was due to constant attacks from the Turks. These attacks meant that the expansion of the city was late in comparison to other historical cities, such as Paris and London.
By 1833, Vienna had expanded with suburbs outside the medieval walls, but the inner city area was still surrounded by fortifications.
In 1857, the Emperor Franz Joseph decided to remove the old city walls. The fortifications were torn down. In its place, the Ringstrasse was built around the inner city of Vienna.
The Ringstrasse was constructed after the dismantling of the city walls in the mid-19th century. The Ringstrasse was located where medieval city fortifications once stood, including broad open fields adjacent to the walls.
From the 1860s to 1890s, many large public buildings were erected along the Ringstrasse in an eclectic style, sometimes called the Ringstrasse Stil, Ring Road style, using elements of classical, Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque architecture.
Because of its architectural beauty and history, the Vienna Ringstrasse has been called the Lord of the Ring Roads, and is part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Vienna.
The Hofburg or Castle of the Court was the principal imperial palace of the Habsburg dynasty rulers from 1438 until the end of World War I in 1918. Today it serves as the official residence and offices of the President of Austria.
The Hofburg is in the center of Vienna and was built in the 13th century, and expanded several times afterwards. It served as the imperial winter residence, and the Schönbrunn Palace was the summer residence.
This is the Hofburg Imperial Palace Complex.
This is the Hofburg Imperial Palace Complex.
This is a map of the area near Hofburg Complex.
This is a detailed view of the Hofburg Imperial Palace Complex.
The Spanish riding school, Spanische Hofreitschule, is a traditional riding school for Lipizzan honor horses. It is the oldest of its kind in the world, and a tourist attraction offering public performances and viewing of training sessions.
The Spanish riding school was named for the Spanish horses of the Lipizzan honor breed, used exclusively at the school. The leading horses and riders of the Spanish riding school also periodically tour and perform worldwide.
St. Stephen's Cathedral, or Stephansdom, is the church of the Archbishop of Vienna and the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Vienna.
The current Romanesque and Gothic form of the cathedral, seen today in the Stephansplatz, was largely initiated by Duke Rudolph IV, 1339 to 1365, and stands on the ruins of two earlier churches. The first a parish church consecrated in 1147.
St. Stephen's Cathedral is the most important religious building in Vienna, and with its multicolored tile roof has become one of Vienna's most recognizable symbols.
This shows the location St. Stephen's Cathedral, or Stephansdom, in the historic center of Vienna.
This is the area in the vicinity of St. Stephen's Cathedral.
This is the area near St. Stephen's Cathedral.
The Vienna State Opera, Wiener Staatsoper, was the first major building on the Vienna Ringstrasse. Work started in 1861 and was completed in 1869, in the Neo-Renaissance style.
The Wiener Staatsoper is one of the busiest opera houses in the world, producing 50 to 60 operas a year. And it is common to find a different opera being performed each day of a week.
The seating capacity of the Vienna State Opera is 1,709, with standing room for an additional 567.
This shows the location of the Vienna State Opera Oper with relation to Stephan's Dome.
Chapter 22. The Schönbrunn Palace.
Schönbrunn Palace, Schloss Schönbrunn, is a former Habsburg imperial summer palace in Vienna. The name Schönbrunn means beautiful spring, and derives from a spring that supplied water to the court.
The Baroque palace is vast with 1,441 rooms. It is one of the most important architectural, cultural, and historical monuments in Austria, and a major tourist attraction.
The history of the palace and its vast gardens spans over 300 years, dating back to 1569, when the Holy Roman Emperor Maximilian II purchased a large area on the outskirts of Vienna to be used as a hunting and recreation ground.
The Schönbrunn Palace as it is today was built between 1740 and the 1750s during the reign of Empress Maria Theresa.
These are the Schönbrunn Palace Gardens.
The Schönbrunn Palace Gardens was the site of the world's first zoo in 1752.
Schönbrunn reflects the tastes, interests, and aspirations of Habsburg monarchs from Empress Maria Theresa in 1740, through the last emperor, Franz Joseph. He was the longest reigning emperor of Austria, who was born at Schönbrunn, and died there at the age of 86, in 1916.
This shows the location of Schönbrunn with respect to Stephan's Dome in the center of Vienna.
The Belvedere is a historic building complex in Vienna consisting of two Baroque palaces, the Upper and Lower Belvedere, the Orangery, and the palace stables. The palace complex was built in the early 18th century as a summer residence for Prince Eugene of Savoy, and now houses the Belvedere Museum.
The Belvedere was built during a period of extensive construction in Vienna, which at the time was both the imperial capital and home to the ruling Habsburg dynasty. This period of prosperity followed from the commander-in-chief Prince Eugene of Savoy's successful conclusion of a series of wars against the Ottoman Empire.
Today the Belvedere houses not only Austrian art from the Middle Ages to the present day, but also the world's largest Klimt collection, with the golden paintings The Kiss and Judith as the highlights. Works of French Impressionism and the Vienna Biedermeier are also in the exhibition.
This shows the location of Belvedere Palace with respect to Schönbrunn and Stephan's Dome in the center of Vienna.
The Vienna City Hall, Wiener Rathaus, is in the Innere district. It was constructed between 1872 to 1883 in a neo-Gothic style.
The University of Vienna, in German, Universität Wien, was founded by Duke Rudolf IV in 1365, and is one of the oldest universities in the German-speaking world.
The University of Vienna is one of the largest universities in Europe with 94,000 students, and associated with 20 Nobel Prize winners.
This shows the location of the Vienna Rathaus, City Hall, and the University of Vienna with relation to Stephan's Dome.
The Vienna International Center, or VIC, is the building complex of the United Nations Office of Vienna, UNOV.
This is a view of the Vienna International Center.
The VIC was built between 1973 and 1979 on the other side of the Danube from the center of Vienna.
6 Y-shaped office towers surround a cylindrical conference building. About 5,000 people work at the VIC, which is an extraterritorial area, exempt from the jurisdiction of local law. The Austria Center Vienna is a conference and exhibition center with a capacity of 6,000.
The Wiener Prater is a large public park in Vienna. The Verstell Prater amusement park, often simply called Prater, is in one corner of the Wiener Prater.
The Wiener Riesenrad, Viennese traveling wheel, is a Ferris wheel at the entrance of the Prater amusement park. It is one of Vienna's most popular tourist attractions, and represents a symbol of Vienna for many people.
Constructed in 1897, the Riesenrad is 212 feet or 65 meters high, and was the world's tallest Ferris wheel from 1920 until 1985.
This shows the location of the Riesenrad in the Prater, with respect to the Vienna cruise port.
The Burgtheater opened in 1741, and is the Austrian National Theatre, and one of the most important German-language theaters in the world.
Viennese cuisine is best known for its pastries, but it includes a wide range of other dishes. Sachertorte is a prime example of Viennese pastries. It is 2 layers of chocolate cake with apricot jam in the middle.
Many Viennese dishes are heavily dependent on meats such as Wiener Schnitzel, which is veal coated in breadcrumbs and fried.
AHP Feldstrudel is a layered pastry filled with apples.
Chapter 28. Vienna Hop-on Hop-off Bus Tours.
For the first-time visitor to Vienna, a good way to see the city is by a hop-on, hop-off bus tour. One such tour is offered by Big Bus Tour. It has 15 stops, and commentary in 13 languages.
Big Bus Tour offers 6 tour loops in Vienna, plus a walking tour, and a boat tour.
This is a list of stops on the Big Bus Tour in Vienna.
This is the Big Bus Red route.
This is the Big Bus Blue route.
This is the Big Bus Green route.
The Vienna Sightseeing is another tour bus company, with 60 stops around Vienna, including the Hofburg Palace, Vienna State Opera, City Hall, Schönbrunn Palace, Danube Tower and the Mozart Memorial. A 24 or 48-hour hop-on hop-off bus ticket includes a 1-hour walking tour.
This map shows the 3 loops of the Vienna Sightseeing hop-on, hop-off bus tour.
This is a list of stops on the 24 or 48-hour bus tickets for the red, yellow, and blue lines. Audio commentary is available in 16 languages. The 1-hour walking tour is available in English and German.
This is a list of stops on the 24 or 48-hour bus tickets for the Green Line.
This is a map of the Vienna Sightseeing hop-on, hop-off bus route in the Vienna city center.
3 boat cruise routes are available, with durations for 1.5 to 2 hours.
Recommended videos. Part 7. The Danube to Vienna.
Recommended video, The Danube, River of Life.
Recommended video, Danube River Facts.
Recommended video, Regensburg, Germany, a vacation travel video guide.
Recommended video, Passau, Germany, exploring the city of 3 rivers.
Recommended video, Wachau Valley, Austria, vacation travel video guide. 25 minutes. 30 seconds.
Recommended video, Melk Abbey, Austria, UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Recommended video, Travel Austria, Melk and Melk Abbey.
Recommended video, Wachau Valley, Melk Abbey.
Recommended video, Vienna, Austria, the Danube and Melk Abbey.
Recommended video, Vienna and the Danube.
Recommended video, Vienna Vacation Travel Guide Expedia.
Recommended video, Vienna Top 10 Attractions, Austria Travel Guide.
Recommended video, 10 Best Things to Do in Vienna.
Recommended video, Vienna Vacation Travel Video Guide.
Recommended video, Vienna Sightseeing Tours Hop on Hop Off Bus.
Table of Contents, European River Cruises Part 7, the Danube to Vienna.
Thanks for watching. Please watch some more of my great videos.